Shaders are very interesting little puzzle boxes that control how GPUs draw to the screen, and of all of them, water shaders are the best. Water shaders are justice. I'm dispensing justice today. We are making some cave justice, so strap in tight. We start with drawing the cave floor, and while I'm not really known for being good at pixel art, I think that it turned out just fine. I put it into a tile map to see how it looks in game, and it worked just fine the first time, so don't think about it too much. This is a fine base to work off. I won't put watery colours on it just yet, as that can be done slightly later. Let's get started with a displacement effect. We'll need some noise for this, and I made this one by tiling some static, blurring it, then squishing the colours between 0 and 1. The tiling at the start prevents odd tearing later on. As texture coordinates are all from 0 to 1, no matter the size of the texture, we need to multiply the UV by the tile atlas dimensions to properly map the noise to the tile. This also worked on the first attempt. I am very good at this. We then use the colour of the noise plus the original texture coordinates to change where we look on the tile. Well, on its own it doesn't really look that impressive, but if we start also adding an offset based on time, or to use the technical term, scrolling, we see the start of a watery effect. But in a stagnant cave, we don't really want to see the water moving in one direction. If you pay attention, you can even see the individual stretches moving along the floor. To fix this, I add a second scroll value, pointing nearly in the opposite direction against the first, and then average the resulting values out. Now it's much harder to read. Okay, now's the time to add the watercolour. I chose this one, and I'll blend it into what we have so far. For now, we just use a constant value to blend it, but we'll come back to this later. Look at this. Beautiful. But we clearly have the water rippling, hence the refraction effect on the floor, yet the surface seems calm. Therefore, the next step on our journey for justice will be to add in caustics. Or at least an imitation of those. Actual caustic simulations take an absurd amount of time to run, so we will be cheating a bit. To start with, here is what the combined noise currently looks like. Its intensity goes between 0 and 1, and if we ignore all values above, say, 0.2, and use the intensity as an alpha value to mix the colours, you get this effect. And you can start to see what looks like small areas of shadow. Now, if we also let in intensities which are too bright, well, it's certainly on the right track, but the tiling is on full display, which never looks great. This is because the noise is being mapped by the same texture coordinates as the tiles, thus is tiled itself. We can fix this by grabbing the position of the pixel on the window itself, dividing that by window resolution, and then add on the top left position of our current view, so we're mapping the noise based on our position in the world. I think you can agree that this looks much better. You can even scale the noise to find the perfect amount of these mock caustics. So we could call it done here, however, if I wanted to use this in a game, I probably want to be able to handle ground as well. Remember how we mix in the watercolour? Well now, instead of using a constant, let's use the blue channel on a new effect texture. This gives us a concept of water depth, which will be useful moving forwards. After getting this effect working, I've played about with drawing a steadily decreasing water height, but as you can see it just looked a bit scuffed. In the end, I took some of the tiles from the World of Solaria tile set pack that I got from the Games for Ukraine bundle. I then drew depths onto the effect texture, and made sure things like refraction and caustics didn't happen in the shallow areas. As is a running theme thus far, this worked flawlessly on the first attempt. There we go, a nice little outcropping of rock in a cave. We reach a crossroads yet again, where we may put down our quest for justice, and be content with the water shader we have. Call this work complete. But this would be the path of a coward. Follow me, for we continue our quest towards true water shader. We have this concept of depth already, and we know what the basic depth level should be. It's the depth we used to assume was default. Therefore, we could scale the caustics based on that, setting the noise frequency higher the shallower the water becomes. Putting that in, as well as adding some more to the tile map, and we reach the end result. Look how the bright spots hug the water's edge. Some people have pointed out to me that it may look a lot more like foam than bright caustics, which I can certainly see, though I don't think it looks any less beautiful for it. If you have any observations about it, feel free to drop them below in the comments. Hey, professional YouTube moment, let's go. I'll leave the water running for a little bit in silence, just so you can bask in it for a while if you like. And that about wraps it up. The basics of the techniques I used today were used for water in Super Mario Galaxy, and the YouTuber Jasper has a great video going through some of the more technical aspects. So check him out if you're interested in learning more. Aside from that, thanks for watching my ramblings, and I hope to see you in the next video.